You're going to be in my company for the next half an hour. You may not have met someone like me before, but well, here I am. I am not made of flesh and blood, but of brick and stone. My voice and my step may be youthful, but I've stood on this hill since the 19th century. My life has not just been mine, it's also the life and the story of Shimla. I am Bantani. I am this historical mansion. There was a time when I wasn't here. There was no town. There were no big buildings. There was just a hill with a thick forest. But that hill and the forest were full of life, with birds and animals. As the 18th century came to an end, Nepal was forging itself into a powerful nation to the east of Shimla. Within the first decade of the 19th century, the Gurkhas of Nepal had captured a portion of today's Himachal Pradesh. In these hills, some local rulers lost their kingdoms to these hardy warriors.
What should we do, my king? Even if a stone hurts their feet, they will go on till it is ground to powder.
The British have entered India. Their East India Company is very powerful and has a huge army. Let us ask them for help.
Help them? Was ever for? The directors of the East India Company do not pay us to help people. We are here to make money for the company's shareholders and not to help someone in those distant hills.
For a few years, the company sat silent and watched as great changes came over the lower hills of the Himalayas. Then a series of events across Europe and other parts of India made the British send 4 armies into the hills. The areas around Shimla witnessed pitched battles and several skirmishes. The hill rulers and the British were victorious. In 1815-16, the Gurkha Wars came to an end. Within a couple of years, officers from the East India Company's army began exploring these hills.
What a delightful place. Look north and you see the magnificent snow-covered mountains. All around are thick forests, grassy glades, and streams of clear water.
Why not build a house here, sir? You can discharge your duties better from these hills compared to Sabatu, which is so awfully hot in summer.
Ha! Splendid idea! We shall build a house on that wooded rise. What say?
Yes, sir.
Some decades before I appeared in 1822, Captain Charles Pratt Kennedy constructed the first permanent house in what was to become the town of Shimla. One happy guest at Kennedy House in 1831 was the French botanist Victor Jacquemont.
Monsieur, this village is nothing but the resort of the rich, the ideal, and the invalid.
Monsieur Jacquemont, for a botanist, you do have a sense of humor.
And thanks to you, Captain Kennedy, I have not tasted water in weeks. Your cellar is so well stocked.
Within a few years, the hospitable Kennedy had more significant guests. The Governor-General, Lord Amherst, arrived in 1828. The following year, the Commander-in-Chief of the British Indian Army, Lord Combermere, arrived in what was still a little tiny village. Combermere's visit provided a glimpse of what the future held for Shimla. The first substantial building works were undertaken by him. Over a stream, he built a large water tank and a bridge that still bears his name. A few years later, in 1830, the core lands that were to form the town were acquired from the rulers of Patiala and Kionthal. It seems the ground was being prepared for my arrival. By 1831, there were 60 houses in this place, whose name is variously reported as Shimla, Shimla, or Shemla.